For the first time ever, the average cost of a new car in the U.S. topped $50,000. But the good news is the average lifespan of a car is also breaking records.
So what's the new car market looking like for 2026? The trends, the technology that we're going to see?
We're going to see prices elevated to a degree, but also remaining somewhat stable.
Okay, we'll take stable at this point. So stabilization is good. Brian, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Yes, thank you.
March 2026. Car deal secrets are out. And what we found is going to save some of you thousands of dollars and stop others from making the worst financial decision of the year. Right now, the auto industry is bleeding. February 2026 was a disaster. Dealerships are drowning in unsold cars, and manufacturers are doing one of two things, either throwing free money at buyers just to move metal off the lot, or doing absolutely nothing and waiting for someone who doesn't know better to walk in and pay full price anyway. 0% financing for 72 months. That is free money for 6 years. Some of you are about to get that deal this month. And some of you are about to walk into a dealership and sign for a car where the manufacturer couldn't care less if you drive it home or not. 6.9% interest on a vehicle with 170 days of unsold inventory just sitting there. Same month, same dealerships. Two completely different outcomes. And the only thing separating the buyer who wins from the buyer who gets destroyed is knowing which list their car is on before they sit down. So here's the question you need to answer before you step foot on any lot this March. Is the car you are looking at a deal that works for you, or a trap that was already set before you walked through the door? Here is what is actually happening right now. February 2026 just delivered one of the weakest sales months the auto industry has seen in years. Not a slight dip, not a minor correction, a real, painful slowdown that has manufacturers sweating and dealerships staring at lots packed with cars they cannot move. And in this business, when cars stop moving, money starts disappearing fast. That pain is your opportunity, but only if you know how to use it. Here's the part nobody at the dealership is going to explain to you when you walk in. The incentive landscape this month has split completely in two. On one side, you have manufacturers who are scared, inventory piling up, prior model year units collecting dust, floor plan interest eating them alive every single day. Those cars sit unsold. Those manufacturers are being generous right now because they have no other choice. 0% financing, cashback, deferred payments, free money sitting on the table for buyers who know to ask for it. On the other side, you have manufacturers who are not scared at all. Their vehicles sell themselves. Their dealers have waiting lists. And because of that comfort, they are offering you almost nothing. A modest rate, a short term, a deal that looks like a deal until you compare it to what the desperate brands are throwing around this month and realize you are leaving thousands of dollars on the table by simply choosing the wrong vehicle at the wrong time. Knowing the difference between those two lists is the entire game. It always has been. But right now, in March 2026, that gap is wider than it has been in years. The average new car is still sitting close to $50,000. Buyers are stretched thin. Payments that felt manageable 18 months ago are now tipping people over the edge. Repo numbers are already at historic highs, and the financial pressure squeezing American households is not letting up. This is not the month to walk into a dealership running on emotion and a monthly payment number someone handed you over text. This is the month to walk in carrying data, because the dealership already has all of it. They ran every number before you arrived. The inventory figures, the day's supply, the manufacturer incentive stack. They know exactly how much room they have and exactly how little they need to offer you to close the deal. Your job this month is simple. Know the 8 deals where the math works in your favor. Know the 7 where it absolutely does not. Everything else is just a signature waiting to happen. And in this market, an uninformed signature is always the most expensive one. Let's start with the cars you need to walk away from this month. And we are not talking about bad vehicles. We are talking about bad deals. There is a difference. Because right now, in March 2026, there are manufacturers who have looked at their inventory, looked at their buyers, and decided they simply do not need to earn your business. And that arrogance is going to cost you if you are not paying attention. First up, the 2025 Lincoln Navigator. There are 2,500 unsold Navigators sitting on lots right now heading into March. Prior model year, expensive, slow-moving. And Lincoln's best offer to get those things sold? 3.9% financing for 48 months. That is it. That is the hand they are extending to a buyer standing in front of an $80,000 vehicle they cannot move. Now look directly across the segment at the 2026 Infiniti QX80. Same category, same buyer, 0% financing for 60 months, not 3.9%, 0, and for 60 months instead of 48. On a vehicle at this price point, that difference is not a rounding error. That is thousands of dollars walking out of your pocket and straight into a lender's because you chose the brand that stopped trying. Lincoln is not offering you 3.9% because that is the best they can do. They are offering it because they are banking on you not knowing what the competition is doing. The moment you walk in with that comparison, the entire conversation changes. But most buyers never walk in with it, and Lincoln knows that. Then, there is the 2025 Toyota RAV4. And this one is a different kind of trap. Not arrogance, confidence. Toyota does not need to fight for your attention on the RAV4, because the RAV4 has sold itself for decades. On the outgoing 2025 model, they are offering 3.75% financing for just 36 months. On the new 2026, it is 4.99% for 60 months. Neither number is generous. Neither one is designed to move you off the fence. And here is why that matters. Toyota knows there are not many 2025 RAV4s left, so they are not spending money to push them out the door. They also know the 2026 will sell without help. That confidence is completely justified from Toyota's perspective. From yours, it means you are paying full freight either way. When a manufacturer does not need to earn your business, they will not. And every dollar of that indifference shows up in your interest charges, your loan term, and the total you hand over before that car is ever truly yours. The badge might look great in the driveway. The deal underneath it tells a completely different story. Now let's talk about something more telling than a bad interest rate. Let's talk about what happens when a manufacturer has thousands of unsold cars sitting across the country and still refuses to do anything meaningful about it. Because that is not just a bad deal, that is a signal. And learning to read that signal before you sign anything is worth more than any negotiation tactic anyone will ever hand you. The 2026 Mazda CX-50. There are 16,000 unsold units sitting on lots nationwide right now. 155 days of supply. To put that in plain terms, at the current rate Mazda is selling these vehicles, it would take over 5 months to clear the inventory they already have. 5 months. And Mazda's response to that mountain of unsold metal? 1.9% financing for 36 months. A 36-month term on a vehicle nobody is buying is not a serious incentive. It is a footnote dressed up as an offer. A 60-month term at 0% would move cars. This moves nothing. And come April, those 16,000 units will still be waiting. Then there is the 2026 Jeep Compass. 170 days of supply. That number is extraordinary. That is a vehicle so slow-moving that at current sales pace, Jeep would need almost 6 months just to clear what already exists. And in a market where competitors are posting 0% financing, Jeep's best offer on the compass is 6.9% APR. Nearly 7% interest on a vehicle that should practically have a fire sale sign on the window. Jeep is not stepping up because they are still trying to move leftover 2025 inventory underneath it. The 2026 is caught in the middle, and the buyer who does not know that pays for it. The 2026 Toyota Crown Signia rounds out this list quietly. 72 days of supply and a headline lease offer of $712 a month after $5,000 down at signing. Toyota has essentially decided internally that the Crown Signia is their slowest seller and priced their incentive accordingly. The offer communicates exactly what the manufacturer thinks of demand for this vehicle without ever saying it out loud. This is not a coincidence. This is a pattern. When manufacturers refuse to compete on incentives, they are telling you something real about where these vehicles are headed. Day supply is data. Incentive structure is data. And data does not lie even when the salesperson across the desk is doing everything possible to keep you from looking at it. Before we get to the 8 deals where the math finally works in your favor, download the free ebook. Avoid these 17 cars in 2026. Depreciation data, reliability scores, the exact models already showing up on repo lots across America. Link is in the description. Download it before you walk into any dealership this month. Now here is where everything shifts. Because we have spent time on the manufacturers who stopped trying, the brands charging 7% on vehicles nobody is buying, the deals dressed up as offers that benefit everyone except the person signing. That ends right now, because there are 8 deals in March 2026 where the math actually works in your favor. And the first 3 are so aggressive, they deserve to be called out by name. Let's start with the 2026 Tesla Model Y. 0% financing for 72 months on both the rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive variants. Read that again. 0% for 6 years. From a company that for a long time refused to offer incentives at all, Tesla held firm on pricing longer than almost any manufacturer in modern memory. That era is over, and the buyer who moves in March captures the entire shift. Here is the part most people miss when they see a 0% offer. Even if you have the cash sitting in your account to buy this vehicle outright, 0% financing for 72 months means that cash does not have to go anywhere near a dealership. Park it in a high-yield savings account. Let it earn interest for 6 years while Tesla finances your car for free. That is not just a car deal. That is a money strategy hiding inside a car deal. And very few buyers ever think about it that way. Next is the 2025 Ram 1500. There are still roughly 3,000 unsold 2025 units sitting on lots, even as we move through March 2026. Stellantis knows these trucks were overpriced. The market told them that clearly. 0% financing for 72 months is Stellantis finally acknowledging that reality with their wallet instead of a press release. Not every buyer will qualify for the 0% rate. Credit requirements are real and they matter. But even a subsidized rate on these trucks right now represents thousands of dollars in savings compared to what buyers were paying 12 months ago, when the leverage sat entirely on the other side of the desk. Then there is the 2026 Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid. 0% for 60 months and no payments for 90 days. Hyundai's sales were up month over month through February, while competitors were struggling, and they are using that momentum to chase market share with both hands. Walking into a Hyundai dealership this month and driving a hybrid home without making a single payment until June is a real outcome available to buyers today. 0%. Deferred payments. Stacked incentives. These 3 deals share one thing: a manufacturer choosing to compete for your money. That choice is the signal. When they compete, you win. Now let's talk about where else that signal is showing up this month. The deals do not stop there, because Ford and GMC are stacking incentives this month in ways that change the math on some of the most popular vehicles in America. And understanding how these offers actually work underneath the headline number is where the real money gets saved. Start with the 2025 Ford F-150. There are 28,000 unsold 2025 units sitting on lots across the country right now. Ford's response to that number is not subtle. 0% financing for 60 months, $1,000 in truck month cash on top of it, and no payments for 90 days. Ford is not offering one incentive. They are stacking three, and that stacking is where the actual value lives because each layer compounds the one beneath it. Here is the number that matters. On a truck listing between $55,000 and $65,000, the difference between 0% and a standard market rate over 60 months is not a minor line item. It is $8,000 to $10,000 that either stays in your pocket or disappears into a lender's. Add the cash back and the deferred payments, and Ford has effectively built a 63-month 0% loan with money back at signing. That is a serious offer on a serious truck. Now the 2025 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend. $399 a month for 36 months with just the first month's payment due at signing. Ford looked at the affordability crisis squeezing buyers out of the market and built a lease that meets the payment where demand actually lives. For a four-wheel drive vehicle at under $400 a month with virtually nothing down, that is a legitimate entry point in a market that has pushed entry points out of reach for millions of buyers. Then there is the 2026 GMC Sierra 1500. $299 a month for 24 months, with $4,239 due at signing. Most buyers see that due at signing number and hand it straight over. Do not. Keep that money in a separate account, draw from it monthly to cover the higher payment, and you are driving a full-size crew cab truck for well under $500 a month. The deal is better than it looks. It almost always is when you stop letting the headline number do all the thinking. 4 deals down, 4 more to go. And this final group is where some of the most overlooked money in March 2026 is sitting completely unclaimed. The 2026 Chevrolet Equinox EV, 0% financing for 60 months or approximately $10,000 off MSRP, plus a 20% conquest discount for buyers switching from another brand. EV sales have plateaued, the federal tax incentive is gone, and Chevy knows the Equinox EV is not moving on its own right now, so they are doing something remarkable. 20% off MSRP for switching brands is a number that almost never shows up on a traditional vehicle. If you are currently driving anything other than a Chevy, and you are even remotely curious about this vehicle, that conquest discount is your money to claim. Most buyers will never ask for it. That is exactly why it is still sitting there. The 2026 Volkswagen Atlas. 0% for 60 months plus $1,000 bonus cash. Volkswagen is communicating something important with this offer without saying it directly. Their vehicles have outpriced their customer base. The bonus cash is the acknowledgement. The 0% is the correction. Together, they make the Atlas one of the stronger, large SUV deals available this month. The 2025 Subaru Forester Premium Hybrid. $269 a month for 36 months. A hybrid all-wheel drive vehicle at under $300 monthly is not a number this market often produces. Subaru is clearing 2025 inventory, and the buyer who moves now gets a genuine hybrid deal at a payment. Most people associate with economy sedans from 3 years ago. Then there is the 2025 Volvo EX90. 0% for 72 months, or $7,500 cash on an $80,000 three-row electric SUV. On a vehicle at this price point, 0% for 72 months represents savings well beyond $10,000 compared to a standard market rate. Volvo is solving an EV inventory problem with real money, and the buyer who acts captures every dollar of it. Same month, 8 manufacturers choosing to compete. That choice separates every deal on this list from everything we covered before it. So now you have the full picture. 7 vehicles where manufacturers stopped competing and left you holding the bill. 8 deals where free money is sitting on the table for buyers who know how to claim it. But information without a plan is just entertainment. And the dealership you walk into this month is counting on you leaving it at that. Start with days supply before you start anything else. That number is the single most powerful piece of data you can carry into any negotiation. 155 days of unsold inventory means the dealer needs you far more than you need them. 72 days means there is less room, but room still exists. Know that number before you know anything else, because it tells you exactly how much leverage is sitting on your side of the desk before a single word gets spoken. Never let the conversation begin with monthly payment. That is the dealership's favorite opening move because it compresses the total cost, the interest rate, and the loan term into one small number that feels manageable. Once you are anchored to that number, the rest of the deal gets built around it quietly. Start with the price of the vehicle, then the rate, then the term. Monthly payment is the last number on the page, not the first. Manufacturer incentives are the floor, not the ceiling. 0%. Financing is what the manufacturer is offering. The dealer still has margin on the vehicle itself. Stack both. The incentive and the negotiated price are 2 separate conversations, and most buyers only have one of them. If you are switching from another brand on any of the vehicles offering conquest discounts, that money is yours. Ask for it directly. It will not be volunteered. Nothing in a dealership gets volunteered. The gap between the buyers who win this month and the buyers who don't is not luck. It is not timing. It is not even credit score. It is information. The dealership walked in today knowing every number on every vehicle on that lot. Your only job is to walk in knowing the same ones first. Here is what this all comes down to. The auto industry just came off one of its worst February sales months in years. Manufacturers are sitting on billions in unsold inventory, and that pressure has cracked the market wide open in a way that almost never happens. The window sitting in front of buyers right now is real, but windows close. Spring selling season shifts the leverage back toward dealers fast, and the deals that exist today will not look the same in 60 days. The 7 vehicles to avoid this month share one thing underneath all the different badges and price points. Manufacturers who signaled with their incentive structure exactly how little they value your business right now. A 6.9% rate on 170 days of unsold inventory is not an oversight. It is a choice. And when a manufacturer makes that choice, the informed buyer makes a different one. The 8 deals worth your attention this month share something equally clear. Free money, stacked incentives, desperate inventory that has flipped the negotiating table for the first time in years and put real power in the hands of buyers who show up prepared. 0% for 72 months, 20% conquest discounts, deferred payments stretching into summer. These are not small differences. These are the kinds of numbers that separate buyers who build financial momentum from buyers who spend years recovering from a single afternoon on a dealership lot. The math is not complicated. The information is not hard to find. The only thing standing between most buyers And a genuinely good deal this month is walking in before they do the homework instead of after. Do not let that be you this March. Download the free ebook before you step foot on any lot. Avoid these 17 cars in 2026. It covers the depreciation curves, the reliability data, the exact models mechanics see constantly, and the vehicles insurance companies are already charging a premium on because they know what you are about to find out. Link is in the description. Download it, read it, then go negotiate. The deals are out there. Now you know exactly where to look.